Welcome to our first video lesson. I hope you will enjoy our journey across Northern America. We are going to look at the relief of the country. Very quickly, a definition of relief. It's the difference between the highest and the lowest elevations in an area. A relief map, the one we are going to look at today, shows the topography of an area. So what is it like? When you start from the west coast, you will enter the Central Valley just before you hit the Great Basin, before you hit the mountainous areas, all the way to the Rocky Mountains. Then we are heading down into the Great Plains, followed by another mountainous area, the Appalachian Mountains, and arriving to the east coast where the coastal plains can be found. Sorry about the quality of the image. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the area of the cross-section that we are going to travel today. If you want to have a better look at it, you will find it on pages 110 and 111 in your course books. This is a little bit different way of showing you this trip, and it's a little bit clearer, hopefully. So we'll start at the coastal range and go all the way across the country to arrive at the coastal plains. So where does our journey start? Our journey starts in the west, near the coastal range. Between the coastal range and the Sierra Nevada, you will find the Central Valley, which is a very important agricultural area in the west. The defining weather condition is the relief rainfall, which is basically the hot, humid weather coming from the ocean, from the Pacific Ocean, which then hits the mountain ranges of the Sierra Nevada, where it releases all the rain because of the dip in the temperature, which means that this on that side, the western side of the mountains, is very humid, very wet, very nice, while the beyond the mountains, on the east side of the mountains, it gets very warm and much drier. This means that the Central Valley area needs a pretty heavy irrigation during the hot and dry summers, while the winters are mild and wet. This map just shows the extensive water project canals that have to be implemented in the Central Valley area to keep the irrigation going. But this is how beautiful it is. We are now crossing the mountains, going to the Great Salt Lake. Very interesting area of photograph. You can see quite a few interesting things. You see the difference in colors, which is apparently caused by a causeway. There's a train line running here, and just installing that causeway changed the vegetation, changed the life of the Great Salt Lake so much that from an aerial photograph you can see the discoloration. Where my mouse is right now, you can see the desalination pond, which is also very interesting to see all the minerals that the Great Salt Lake has. The Great Salt Lake is a massive source of minerals and obviously salt. The climate in the upland plateaus is continental. There are dry summers and cold, dry winters there. During the summer the water levels are quite low, and there is a thick crust of salt you can find there. This is how beautiful it is. We are going on with our journey to the Great Plains. East of the Rocky Mountains, there are the lowland plains and plateaus. This used to be massive grazing grounds for bisons, which have since then died out, mostly to overhunting. But these days, the Great Plains is the largest wheat producing region in the world. Spectacular flat landscape. And I just wanted to arrive at the coastal plains. The coastal plains east of the Appalachian Mountains, there is a wide coastal plain. The land use varies greatly from north to south. You can see these beautiful images of the Atlantic coastal plain. You also see some of the variety. Massive cities, the land use is very varied. One interesting thing is Washington DC, which obviously is in this part of the country, where you get fairly cold, snow-covered winters, despite the fact that Lisbon or Athens in Europe are on the same side. And I invite you to think about what the reason for this could be. And finally, we are going to have a quick quiz. I have 4 very simple looking questions. Okay, first question is, what is the summer like in the Californian Central Valley? I mentioned this in the video, so you might want to scroll back a little. Then, what is the main produce of the Great Plains? Is my second question. Third question, why is the climate of Washington DC so different from Athens or Lisbon, despite the fact that it's located as far south as they are? And the last one is a little bit of a personal question. Which area described in this video would you like to visit most for its natural setting? Why? So please don't tell me you want to go to New York to see a show on Broadway. Tell me which of these geographical areas you would be most interested in visiting and why. Thank you very much and see you in class on Thursday. Bye.